Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon coming at you today with a few pro-revenge stories. First one, return from holiday to fire me? Pay the price of $100,000 for wrong dismissal. Let's jump right in. Check out my new channel, CanadianRob's Workshop, link in the description down below. This happened 10 years ago now, but I worked for a gym as a fitness consultant and a personal trainer. The hours were ridiculous and the pay was pretty poor. The owner went on holiday frequently with his wife, but on this occasion, he went on a 3-month holiday across Europe. He hired someone new as manager who had never worked in the gym before over me, where I'd worked there for nearly 4 years. I assumed he would give me the leadership role of looking after the place for this long-term time, but he gave it to some random, so whatever. They went away for 3 months, and basically during this whole period of time, all the staff slacked. No one was doing any cleaning equipment, machines, etc., and I had to pick up the slack. I had gone from fitness consultant to full-time cleaner because they even stopped cleaning the bathrooms. The toilets weren't getting cleaned either, and the new manager stopped ordering cleaning product, so I had to purchase it myself. The new manager was pretty useless because she wouldn't even answer inquirers back for joining the gym, etc. Didn't answer emails, so I had to do it. When the owner returned from the trip, I went to work and was called in for a meeting where I had been reported as performing misconduct by the other staff and the manager. Apparently, I had been doing nothing, abusing gym members and turning people away from joining, which was completely untrue. I was fired on the spot as my boss at the time didn't want to hear anything I had to say. Fortunately, I had documented everything for the last 3 months, and I knew the cameras would prove my innocence, but I didn't have access to them. I went and got myself a lawyer, and we filed for wrong dismissal. My lawyer was able to get the last 3 months of camera footage while the owner was away, and it showed me constantly slaving away, proving my side of the story was correct and he'd wrongly fired me. It cost him over $100,000 in a wrong dismissal payout and penalties, causing the gym to close. He lost his business, all the staff lost their jobs, and he was slandered in the newspaper. Okay, 2 things. Number 1, it's not slander if it's true. And number 2, $100,000 doesn't seem like it would be a whole lot for this guy if he's taking trips around the world all the time with his wife. On the other hand, this guy could be in debt up to his eyeballs, so I guess it could be a possibility. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. On to our next story, changing a big fat target on my back to my boss being escorted out by security. This happened a few years ago, but the story appears to be a good match for this sub. I was one of 2 commercial writers and producers working in the production department of a local television station. Our department was responsible for producing both the newscasts and commercials for clients who purchased airtime on our station. The department is high stress. I had to manage multiple deadlines and provide creatives for about a dozen ad campaigns every month. That being said, I always met my deadlines, and our sales department was always complimentary of my work, steering the more important clients my way. Unfortunately, managers in my department came and went with unsettling frequency. In the 9 years I was there, I had 6 different managers. Most often, the managers were passing through with their sights set on snagging upper-level management jobs in larger television markets. This meant their experience actually doing the work of television production was often minimal, so they had a tendency to not interfere with our work so long as clients were happy and deadlines were being met. Given the managers were so disengaged, I told our general sales manager about my idea for saving time and money in the department, and he suggested I apply for the production manager position the next time it opened up. So I did. I did not get the job. I was told I was too important maintaining good client relationships through my work as a producer. No big deal, I thought. I was happy as a producer. Unfortunately, the person they did hire for the position ended up being a monumental asshole of the first order. I'll call him Bob. The first thing Bob wanted to know was who in the department had applied for the position he now filled. I don't know what idiot in upper management thought it would be a good idea to tell him, but someone did. It soon became apparent he wanted to find any excuse he could to fire me because that was just the kind of insecure idiot he was. It began by him writing me about the time I was taking to complete commercial productions. Then he accused me of undercharging clients in my billing. He wanted me to wear a suit and tie, which he knew I hated. As the writing on the wall became clear, I began documenting every single interaction with him, taking notes about what was said and contradicting his accusations with the facts. All the while, he is managing to piss a whole lot of people off in our department, and morale really began to tank. Bob was petty, vain, and given to things like announcing how lavish and wonderful a vacation he was planning would be. He was going to Aruba, so he'd put up travel posters and printed out a ridiculous sign he taped to his office door that would say something like, "My island adventure begins in 2 weeks." All this served to remind us that he was the only one in our department who made enough money to take that kind of vacation. Eventually, an incident occurred where I missed a deadline through no fault of my own. The client wanted to change up the creatives at the last minute, and we had to bump the film shoot. Somehow, Bob got it in his head that I should have been a mind reader and anticipated the client's wishes before they were communicated. He calls me into his office and begins berating and threatening me. I had had enough. I'm the kind of person who will take a lot of shit with patience and grace, but when I am finally pushed to my boiling point, I f***ing explode. I start yelling back, "You're a f***ing liar, and if you think I don't know how to handle this client, then fine. Let me see you f***ing do it, because I'm out of here." And I walked off the job. I'm so amped up by what just transpired. After leaving the office, I walk all the way home, a distance of more than 6 miles. Just as I am nearing my house, my cell phone rings. It's Bob. Evidently, it just dawned on him that he would, in fact, have to produce the ad campaign himself because our other producer had the week off. He hemmed and hawed and finally blurted out something that was quite revealing. "If we lose this client, we'll both get fired, and I can't afford to lose another job." Really? So you've been fired from all your other jobs? What a surprise. I tell him to go f*** himself because I'm not taking his for one more minute. All the while, I'm literally trembling with the knowledge I've walked off the job without another job to go to, and I have a wife and 2 kids to support. Thankfully, the next call I get is from the general sales manager. You know, the guy who recommended I apply for Bob's job, resulting in this whole storm. By now, news of my blow up evidently made it back to him. He asks me about what happened, and I fill him in and apologize for walking off the job, while also telling him there's no way I'm working for Bob. He says, "Yep, leaving work wasn't a good idea. So do me a favor and come back. Email me the details of what happened and I'll see what I can do." Thanks to my copious note-taking of all my interactions with Bob, it takes me no time at all to send him the complete history of Bob's boobery. So I return, hoping to avoid Bob. Thankfully, his door was closed and I keep my head down in my cubicle. A half hour before quitting time, I notice our general manager and a security guard getting off the elevator together. I stand up to see where they are headed and am elated to see it's directly towards Bob's office. What transpires is even better than the revenge options I was contemplating. Bob emerges from his office carrying a box of his belongings, including the rolled up Aruba travel poster and is escorted by the security guard to the escalator. Now, standing up in my cubicle, he turns toward me, his face beet red with embarrassment. As our eyes meet, I flash an ear-to-ear grin. The dip is done. Did this place not do any background checks or record checks when they hired Bob? It really sounds like that might be the case. Also, OP said in a comment as a follow-up that they didn't actually get Bob's job. And they're quite happy that they didn't, because that job got phased out. So they're in a much better place now than they would have been if they moved up. I want to thank both of the OPs for posting their stories to the ProRevenge subreddit. You can visit them at the links in the description below. Please go there and give them an upvote. Once again, this is Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon saying thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share it with your friends. And we'll see you in the next one.